What's up, guys? This is Handikillcam, and we are also here with.
OG Crunkster.
And today you are on our first and our beta episode of original gaming tubecast, which is also called OG tubecast. And to
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoy.
and yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And today we're gonna be talking about some various things. I don't know if I'm gonna really be talking about much about the beta because I think I really unleashed all my juices on the episode that didn't work. Uh, which was actually a good thing because when I made my YouTube video about it, it was a lot nicer than how I came across in our first episode. So it was actually a good thing that I got it all out because I was not. OG
You were
was.
pretty upset.
I was
You were
pretty.
very, very upset.
I was very upset, and I wasn't. And let's get this straight. I wasn't upset about the game. I was upset about all you guys hating on the game, and so I'm kind of glad it happened the way that it did, because I have good news. The video that I made on YouTube about my raw opinion uh on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is actually going to get featured on a podcast. So I'm glad I got all my anger out because I'm pretty sure if I would have been that angry in the video, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have gotten featured in a podcast this week. So that's pretty awesome.
We call
Uh,
that a happy accident.
yeah, we'll call that a happy accident. You know, God has His way of doing things like that, so it's pretty cool. Um, but I guess to talk about it, I like the beta. I like the game. I'm gonna play the game, and I feel like a lot of people are just hating on it for a trend instead of giving the game a try. Other than that, that's pretty much all I got to say about it for right now. um,
Well, I mean, basically the point is just to kind of reiterate what I was saying in the video that didn't get recorded. Um, it's okay to watch other people's opinions and see what they say, but at the same time, if you really want to know if the game is good or not, just play it yourself.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you could be missing out just because you just want to listen to some other guy's opinion. You just want to jump on the bandwagon. Have your own mind and just play the game. Simple as that. If you like it, cool. If not, then move on to the next one. I mean, life goes on.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, at the end of the day, me and OG, we're not gaming experts. We game, we play a lot of video games, but we have no idea what it takes to make a video game. In fact, I think that it's so hard to make a video game. I don't think I would ever want to make a video game. I would like my idea to be inspired to make a video game, but I don't think I would actually want to create it myself. Um, that's just personal. I don't know what OG thinks about that, but that's just personal opinion.
To be perfectly honest, I don't know what I would want to do in the creation of the game. Like, I don't know if I'd want to do like the story or the music or, I have no idea. So there's just too much, and I don't know how to narrow down what exactly I would want to do in the process of making the game.
Yeah, like I don't know what my limitations are because I know there's like all these different engines and I don't even know where to start which engine to use. So it's like just inspire my idea and I'll play the crap out of my own game. And then I'll tell you what you need to fix. Um but speaking of new stuff, um I guess we can re-talk about the Nintendo Switch and what our thoughts on it. I'll go ahead and let you speak on it since you really didn't get
Yeah,
to speak much
because
much last episode. Go ahead.
Nintendo Switch is something that I'm actually interested in. First and foremost, anyone that knows Nintendo's history, they've always had the pretty much monopoly on handhelds. Like they've always been dominant. They push out good products, and they don't really never really had real competition when it comes to handhelds. But that being said, you basically have the idea of transforming a console into a handheld, so to speak. It's kind of the simplest way to kind of put it. You can be playing your game at home on the big screen, and but you have to go out and do stuff, whether it be work or go to a doctor's appointment, whatever it is you got to do. So it's like instead of saying, "Crap, what do I do? I have to wait for 8 or 10 hours so I can come back and play again." You can go out on the road, and then whenever you're at a spot where you can chill, whether you're waiting on something or you're on your lunch break, continue playing your game. You know what I mean? It's all on one thing. You don't have to switch devices, or it's all right there.
Okay, so since Nintendo is your passion, correct? Would you say Nintendo is your passion?
I'm not gonna say Nintendo specifically. Nintendo was like the thing I was solely into, but I'll be honest with you, Sony has slowly creeped in
Okay.
a little. So I mean, I'm more of a Sony slash Nintendo guy now when it comes to consoles. I've never really been super into Microsoft as far as like gaming, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 games. But for the most part, a lot of what I've played console-wise either come from a Nintendo or a Sony product.
Okay. Okay. So so let me share this with you. And I was very shocked because I did a little bit more research on the Nintendo Switch because we really at that time that we did this episode, I didn't really know much about it. You didn't know much about it. It was just brought up.
Right.
So what I found out, and which is really surprising, the Nintendo Switch will not play 3DS games, which is weird.
Mm,
And the Nintendo Switch will also not play Wii U games. So pretty much, and we're talking like the Wii U that just came out, not the Wii, but the Wii U. So pretty much, you're gonna have to rebuy everything. I kind of find that a little disturbing, because Nintendo has always been someone that you could backwards compatible. You've never had that problem with Nintendo as far as the new stuff. You know what I mean? Um, because correct me if I'm wrong, you could play 3DS and Game Boy Advance stuff um on like the Game Boy Advance, right? Or was it the Game Boy Advance on 3DS? Am I wrong?
well, there's kind of different divisions of the handhelds. I think it's like Advanced could play some of, or the SD could play some of the old stuff. The 3DS, I think, was a few other things you could kind of throw in with it too. I don't remember all the connections exactly because that is kind of a lot to remember. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
but
it's a
for the
lot.
most part, Nintendo's been to some degree backwards compatible when it comes to handheld. So it is a little different, but I think the reason that they're doing what they're doing is because one, you can still play it on your TV.
That's
So I mean, it's
true.
still sort of like console based, and two, Nintendo needs to make money. I mean, because if all everyone's doing is just playing, stuff, they're not going to really make a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And so it's okay to not be 100% backwards compatible. As long as you cater to the classics that we all know and love, and create new content for us to explore and enjoy.
Well, I do know, and you'll be excited to hear this. I do know that one of the games that they're coming out with is a new Zelda game. So it's gonna be interesting, how to see how well to see that plays out. Because Zelda games can make or break. Um, I personally liked all the Zelda games. And that's just from watching you play. I never really dove into it as much as you have, but I personally
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed watching you play Zelda. What are your thoughts on the Zelda as a
Well, to be
franchise?
honest, the Zelda franchise will always stay alive. It's a thing that'll never die. It has such a huge fan base, and most of their games have been just fantastic. It's very rare when you're like, man, this Zelda game sucks. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them are pretty good for their own reasons, and they always come up with something new, something different, something interesting. It's just one of those staple classics that'll never die. Kind of like the whole Mario franchise, that will always be a forever thing too. You know what I mean? I don't think that'll ever die either. Like Nintendo has just a lot of staples that they're always going to make money because the products they put out for those games are always good.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Mario and Super Nintendo, my wife is very happy with me at the moment. I won't go into too much detail, but because,
Mm-hmm.
and I've shared this with you already, I found a way to play Super Mario on my Xbox, any Super Nintendo on my Xbox One, without really downloading anything to my Xbox or harming my Xbox whatsoever. And I, of course, downloaded Super Mario, and my wife is like super happy right now because the biggest thing my wife was having was she didn't like none of the games on the Xbox. She liked games on the 360, but when we
Sure.
switched to Xbox One, she's like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna play video games with you ever again." So
Aw.
when she came home and she saw that I had Mario, she was super ecstatic. And so now she feels like she can play the Xbox One. And in hindsight, she kind of can because it literally the web browser that you that or the web address and the web browser that it uses, I literally uses my controller as a Nintendo controller or a Super Nintendo controller or a Sega controller.
Hmm.
It
Right.
automatically knows, which is really weird. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to download any drivers. It's pretty cool. Is it is it probably something you shouldn't be exploited? No, because again, Nintendo will probably lose a lot of money. But is it fun? Is it cool to have? Is it fun to go back and play old school games? Heck yeah. Um,
Oh yeah, like old school games is honestly never died. You know, there are a lot of people who play classic games, even for show. Like for example, they have a charity thing that they do twice a year for the speed demos guys. They have awesome games done quick and summer games done quick. And basically, what it is it's a week long charity where they run 24 hours a day and that entire week, and basically they just play all kinds of older games and some newer as well. But basically, they're speed running all these classic games we all grew up to love, and it's super popular. They have a big crowd in the background, always cheering and watching and cracking jokes and stuff. And like old school has never died. You know what I mean? It's actually, I think, bigger than it was when it first dropped,
yeah.
because now the new people are like, oh, this is what we've been missing out on. Oh, this is where gaming started. You know what I mean? And it's
R-
become more competitive because people are racing and all kinds of good stuff. It just makes it so much fun.
Speaking of which, and I'm gonna bring this up right now because it was another thing that recently came up, and it goes on the topic of us um talking about retro games, and I'm hoping that the ad is still there. But GameStop is now taking retro games and all your retro devices. So now you can go and you can trade in your Super Nintendo, you can trade in your Xbox, you could trade in your Super Mario, all your retro stuff for games or for credit. Now, and of course it's not up here anymore. But
Oh, of course.
I know they're still doing it. But now, if you trade it to them, you're an idiot. Do not trade to GameStop. This is why I'm saying this, or this is why I'm bringing this up. What I'm wondering is, can I go buy the stuff that's getting traded in? That's my curious. Like, I wonder why they're taking it in. I wonder if it's because they've realized that retro is coming back and retro is making more money, or I won't say more money, but it's more demand now than the most of the newer games out there right now. Because a lot of people just want to go back. Um, I wonder if you can like go and buy like a freaking GameCube or well, I already know you could buy a Nintendo 64, but I wonder if you could like buy like the older games. What do you think? Have you?
I really don't know what GameStop will do as far as trading them in, because I mean, first and foremost, there's a big market out there for classic games at all kinds of places. I can think of at least three comic stores that we have in the greater San Antonio area that sell classic, systems and games.
Yeah,
Now, is it a huge moneymaker? I'm gonna say no, because the thing about it is, because I actually know some of the owners of some of these places. I'm not going to get into the details because that's kind of classified, but
yeah.
um, they have told me, and from what I've seen in person, that the sales aren't really like that great unless people are looking for a collector type game. And I'm talking games that are really rare to find. Those games that were short print but were never popular until 8 years later. For example, There's a PlayStation game called Suikoden 2. It's an old RPG, and it didn't get a lot of love because it got outshadowed by like Final Fantasy RPGs and stuff like that. So a lot of people didn't really know what it was and give it a chance.
Right.
Now, like more than 10 years later, um, all of a sudden people are doing let's plays of it, and they're like, wait a minute, this is actually an awesome game. And boom, people are like spending hundreds of dollars on this game. Like, as a matter of fact, when I purchased the game, I got it for about 120 at the time. And then when I sold it again, I sold it for like 150 because I really needed the money and somebody really was willing to pay
Ooh.
for it.
Ooh.
So yeah, like that. So games like that are really rare, people will spend the money on because they're hard to get and they're collectible. Now, the only downside to that is those who are not collectors could just pay $10 to download on the PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
You know,
or be like
so
me, find a way to download it the wrong way.
exactly. So I mean, there's a market out there, but it's not like a booming business. It's not a super money maker. It's just something nice to have. Like if you have your own shop and you want to do like a classic gaming night kind of a thing at your store or whatever, then
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely cool to have. But as far as for it to sell, I don't know about that anymore. I mean, most of us who have these old systems, including myself, are not going to get rid of them. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's my childhood right there. And what if I want to go back and play some of those games that I still have that are awesome?
That's
So
the
I don't know about that.
that's the beautiful thing about these old systems. Like they still work. Like 20 years down
Most
the
of them.
most of them. Well, unless you're like our old friend and want to put the dishwasher liquid in it because you feel like that will clean it. And ironically, he cleaned the color out of the Nintendo. So he cleaned
That's a
it.
true story.
He
That was actually my Super Nintendo that it happened to, by the way. Like
he
it literally played black and white for a good year. Like he literally cleaned the color out of it with joy. I'm just telling you,
Joy gets the color out.
joy. It gets the color out exactly.
uh,
So if you guys ever want to clean your old school systems, please do not use dish detergent.
yes.
And no, I was not aware this was happening. I know I found out afterwards, and I'm not really happy about that. Now, thankfully, because I know how to take care of my systems and I care, it doesn't do that anymore. But that was a year of awkwardness.
It
Like
was
especially when you play like old puzzle games where you're relying on certain colors to make things match. Yeah, that was really a pain.
what was it? What was it? It was Mario Puzzle. What was it?
It was Tetris Attack.
Tetris Attack. Yeah, I knew it was. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was the puzzle game that I was really competitive at back then. It was really hard to do without the color, super hard.
Speaking of which, puzzle games, and this is just random. I wasn't really gonna talk about this, but you brought it up. Puzzle games are not what they used to be anymore, and I feel like as far as phone creators, you people that make phone games, you guys take the easy way out, and all you guys do is make the same phone puzzle game. And back in the day, those games used to be cool, like the Bubble Bust a Move and all that, but you guys have killed it. Same thing with you guys making zombie games. You guys have. I've never liked zombie games. I've never liked Resident Evil. So it's probably unfair for me to say this, but y'all have killed the zombie genre, and y'all have killed the and y'all in the phone gaming business. Y'all have killed puzzle games. I'm sorry. I have yet to find one good puzzle game to date. Instead of going, unless I'm going way back in the day, but I cannot find a good puzzle game anymore.
I can't really speak about zombie games because I've never been into the whole zombie horror kind of games. But as far as puzzles are concerned, the best thing I can say is nowadays it's really hard to be creative. I mean, it almost feels like everything's already been done. In a puzzle game, like what more could we really ask for?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, right now, a lot of what you're seeing in these mobile puzzle games is basically a same idea, but they use themes to make it look different. And
yeah,
like Bubble Witch Saga, where you can have witches or whatever. Candy Crush, where you're messing with candy and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Bejeweled, where you have like jewels and stuff like that. There's still the basic puzzle aspect. It's just that you have a theme now that makes it look different. When in all reality,
The
It's
same
not,
game.
anything crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't really want to really complain too much about it because there are a lot of people who enjoy the games, not necessarily because they're unique, but just because it gives them something to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what puzzles are really there for, things for people to do. And not everybody, especially the newer generation, a lot of them haven't even played these old puzzle games. So as far as they're concerned, it's new and innovative. It's just
Yeah.
us old school, us old farts who are only in our 30s, but we're still old farts when it comes to gaming, that are like, well, give me something new, you know what I mean? Because we're seeing it all, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like there's not a whole lot I don't think you can do with puzzles
Yeah,
to make
that's
them that much
that's
better.
that's why that like in my opinion, like I don't want anything new. I could care less if they made anything new. It's just crazy how they just keep making it, and it's just like wow, and it's because of Candy Crush. The makers of Call of Duty, which is Activision, bought Candy Crush for $30 billion. So
Hmm. Okay.
why Activision would want to buy that? Activision is doing big things. And I don't know if they're really doing big things because they're gonna do big things, but I just think that they see big money things and they just want they just want their name on it, so they say, well, that's ours. Well, that's ours. Well, I want that.
Basically, they're playing the stock market more or
Yeah,
less.
yeah, yeah. They're like, okay, like they've bought, they got people in the TV industry now and all this. Supposedly they're gonna be, you know, trying to making gaming more mainstream and which I mean, they did try. I mean, there was a gaming tournament for CS:GO on TBS, but I lost interest after the second episode. CS:GO is just not my game. I did watch the Mortal Kombat tournament that was on CW. That was interesting, but because
Okay.
but that's because Mortal Kombat is it's a competitive game. It's very adrenaline. I like it a lot.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna go on the fighting games, Mortal Kombat's always been competitive, but I don't think that it's really strong compared to a lot of the other games because you know for example, if you've ever seen people play at the Evo tournaments, the majority of the games are Street Fighter type games. You have Third Strike, you have Capcom versus SNK2, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and then a couple of the other ones, like I think they did Soul Calibur for a while, and they may still be doing it. But they didn't actually bring Mortal Kombat into the mix until like maybe a year or two ago. Like
Okay.
Mortal Kombat honestly wasn't really that big a deal, which was interesting. Like I don't know if the people who were running the tournaments just didn't think they had a high calling, or maybe there was a survey done and people were just more into the Street Fighter type games. But I'll say that it seems like in the tournament field that Mortal Kombat's making a comeback, and I think that's a good thing because I think competition among games is good, and
Yeah.
having a variety of games to play and watch, I think is just great. So, my hats off to them. But yeah, Mortal Kombat's coming back. I can definitely tell you that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I haven't, but I've been meaning to pick up the latest Mortal Kombat. It actually looks really, really good. I wish I could pick up Street Fighter, but Street Fighter's only for the PlayStation, so I will not be picking up the new Street Fighter. But the new Tekken looks amazing. They are making a new Tekken. I think it's Tekken 8 or Tekken 7, and it looks pretty awesome. So I will be getting that eventually. I'm not gonna be gun ho and go and spend $60 right off the bat. I'll wait until it's like a $20 game or whatever. But I will be getting
Okay.
that. Speaking of watching games, and I don't know why Microsoft is doing this. Microsoft just acquired a new streaming service. Well, it's not new, but it's new to me. It's called the Beam. Which kind of puzzles me for a minute because we already I say we like I work for Microsoft, but I don't work for Microsoft. Um, Microsoft already has a partnership with Twitch, so automatically you can stream Twitch from your Xbox. So I don't know why the sudden change. Maybe because Amazon bought Twitch, and now Amazon's doing all these crazy things with Twitch. But they've bought Beam. I checked out Beam last night and this morning for the first time. I do like the interface. I do like the whole, it just looks cleaner. And the guy was explaining to me that streaming, that you get a better experience as far as delay. You can get a two. Okay, so on Twitch you have what is it, like a 30-second delay from the streamer, and then YouTube could be from 40 seconds to a minute, and then Beam, you can get your Beam delay all the way down to 2 seconds. That's
Oh
amazing.
wow.
That is amazing. But you have to have an amazing system to get it down to that low, and you have to have amazing internet. So that kind of baffles me, because then what's the point? But then he also explained to me too that Beam offers you a lot of bandwidth. See, what a lot of people don't understand about streaming services and about like Twitch and all these, a lot of times when you see buffering, it's not our connection. It's not necessarily the person that is streaming. It's sometimes is the server itself, the that you're streaming to. See, like for Twitch, for instance, they only allow so a person to get so much bandwidth. So basically, on Twitch, you're only allowed to stream 720p. Yes, you could stream 1080p, but you're gonna lag regardless, no matter how good your connection is, no matter how much anything, because they normally only allow people with enough bandwidth for 1080p that are partnered with Twitch, or that have um, like sponsorship with Twitch. So that to me is an issue as far as if you're trying to become a big person. Now, now I don't know the specs for YouTube, but YouTube is probably one of the most visited sites in the world. So you got to take that into a factor too, that you're not going to get a lot of bandwidth off YouTube. And when you upload videos into YouTube, their their bandwidth and whatever they use, their coding automatically butchers your videos. This is why you have to um what you call it, upload your videos in such high quality because of their encoder. So with that said, um I think that's pretty cool that Beam offers this. Now, the downside to this is that when it comes to Microsoft, um, um, what do you call it, acquiring Beam, here's what's going to happen, because Microsoft already announced that in May of this year, or May of 2017, that there's going to be an update, and for Windows 10, so you can automatically stream to Beam from your computer or from any Microsoft device. And you're thinking, yes, that is great, that is awesome, and that is cool. Because I automatically stream from my Windows 10. I stream my Xbox to my computer, and then I stream to Twitch. I don't even use my Elgato capture card anymore, because
Hmm.
Microsoft has made it where you don't have to use your capture card. But the downside to this is, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let OG speak, is that now the good service that has a good bandwidth is gonna get saturated and overloaded with all these people that think they can stream and want to stream. That is the problem, in my
Well, I
opinion.
think the idea is that they want to get more people into it, and I think that's an easy way to do it. And another thing I kind of want to add to what you were saying earlier, as far as why there are lag problems, as much as people don't want to admit it, sometimes it's just you trying to view it. Sometimes people that say that they have that the other person streaming has a bad connection
Yeah.
don't realize that it's actually them that may have the bad connection. Maybe their internet's wrong and they're trying to blame it on somebody else. So sometimes it's you, and sometimes it's not. Either way, just do the best you can to watch and enjoy. When you are a watcher like myself, I'm not a
Mhm.
streamer myself, so it's really hard for me to comment too much on it because right now I don't do any streaming. I've never even really thought of really getting into that, so there's a lot I don't know about it. I just enjoy watching. I mean, it's as
Eh,
simple as that, and I hope people keep doing it.
oh yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy watching it. Um, Here's a hint though. If you're gonna stream, don't be boring. And what I mean by that, but don't be boring. Interact with your audience. That's all I gotta say. That's my tip on that. I guess, and I mean, it's a hit and miss, and it's just I'm happy for it, and I'm hoping that it does well. I just don't want, because basically that's why they did Twitch for. That's why you can automatically stream Twitch from your Xbox. Was to get people into streaming, and that's why I don't understand the Switch. But it's not for me to understand. But what I do like about Beam, and I will say another thing that I like about Beam is that say you're playing like a game, like say we're playing Minecraft or whatever, right? Because that's like one of the like I don't know why, but people love watching people play that game. Not me personally, but anyway, say for instance, you can interact with your people in your chat. So say for instance, if I'm building um this thing and I need something, you can make your chat interactive where they type something in chat and they have these points, right? Like virtual points. They can use these points to buy the stuff that you need and send it to you in game live, which is pretty freaking cool. So
Okay.
if I don't know much about Minecraft, I'm making something up, okay? So say like I need a sword or something, okay? And say it's like 50 points for a sword. Okay, this person can freaking spend the 50 points for a sword and all of a sudden the sword drops from the sky and I get my sword. That's pretty cool.
Right.
I think that's cool. How far that goes and like what games they take that to, that's interesting because not all games are interactive at the moment. Only certain games. So it only affects certain games. But I'm interested. I enjoyed the experience. I've already made my Beam account. So I will try Beam. I already use a thing called Restream. So basically, I mean, I could stream to Beam and Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and it doesn't affect my bandwidth and it doesn't affect anything that I do. So the next time I stream, I will be streaming to Beam to see what kind of response I get and see what kind of audience I get. I was actually excited about the community because when I told the guy that I was switching over from Twitch and I was gonna try it out, the guy is a big streamer and he was all about helping the next streamer. He was like, "Look, I'm gonna give you a follow, and if you need any help, like just come to me or message me." I've never got that in any streaming community. Period. Not right off the bat. Not like hey, I'm gonna help you right now. No, you had to build a relationship. No, this guy literally stuck out his hand and said, "Look, this is how you contact me, and if you need help, just contact me. And here I'm gonna be your first follow." And that was pretty freaking awesome. And I didn't even have a
That is
channel up.
good.
I didn't even have a channel up. That is a major plus. That is a major plus because getting viewers, getting an audience is very hard. I've been streaming for probably about 8 months, and I still don't have like a big audience at all. And
Okay.
it's very, very difficult. And it's not because anything that anybody's doing wrong. I mean, if I'm doing something wrong, somebody tell me. But
I wouldn't be the one to tell you,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
mean, all I can really say is really it just takes time, because I've seen other people who are LPers or streamers who sometimes address, because people will ask them, well, how did you get so many, followers, viewers, whatever? And to be perfectly honest, a lot of what they say is just keep posting videos,
yeah.
just be persistent, and then be entertaining.
Right, right.
Play a game that people know about and entertain them with that game. Like you said earlier, don't be boring.
Yeah,
So honestly, I think in time you'll get that audience. It's just, I think people just expect things to happen right away, and they get a little discouraged when it doesn't. But in all reality, I think that you know anyone that's really putting out good material as far as streaming, is going to do well. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of time. That's all it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, I definitely agree. And speaking of which, you are definitely putting out good videos and good content in your YouTube. Please, people, go follow this person, OG Crunkster, on YouTube. Definitely, he definitely does some great commentary, and the way that he does his videos, you would think that he's streaming. And this is why I'm so surprised he's not. He doesn't know if he's into streaming because he actually talks in his videos like somebody's watching him or like he's reading a chat, and that's pretty awesome. And it helped me get more engaging when I'm by myself, cause it's hard to engage when you're by yourself. But it helped me. So just go and give him a follow, give him a like, give him a favorite, whatever you need to do that makes you happy on YouTube. Go and do it. Uh, Speaking of which, how's gaming going for you, my friend? What are you gaming
It's
right
been
now?
well, most of what I do these days is mobile gaming. It's
Mhm.
just all I have time to do, because of my life schedule, so we'll call it that. Because you know me, I've always been the kind of person. I'm a social gamer, so I'm always out doing stuff when it comes to gaming, or I'm always at work. And then, of course, I have a girlfriend that I live with, so outside of all that, I spend time with the girlfriend. But yeah, basically what's been happening lately is like when I get out of work, I log into certain games just to kind of keep up with the guilds. I currently run two guilds too, so leading two guilds, putting out videos. It is a little bit of work, but I enjoy it. It's something that I'm cool with, and people are giving me good feedback as far as in the guilds and stuff like that. They appreciate what I do for them and all, and I'm enjoying it. So like right now, like I'm probably not going to post a video today just because I just don't really have the time. I
Yeah.
wanted to kind of squeeze in a little bit of time to do the podcast, and I was also catching up on my gaming. But I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking the fact that I can play on the go. I even had one video that I actually posted during my lunch break just because I wanted to put something out that day,
There you
and
go.
it's not something I'm going to do a lot, but it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Like, I don't always try to plan things, as you can tell in some of my videos. Like, a lot of what I put out is not like perfect, and like you can tell that he took the time to make sure nothing bad could possibly happen. No, you see some of the mistakes that I've made, like if I have any solve problems, or if I need to leave to go do something real quick because life distractions do happen.
Life does
What you
happen.
get is really what's going on. Like you see, what's happening, in real life. It's not just acting or anything like that. This is just me playing games, and when you hopefully enjoying watching me play these games,
Yes.
and that's what it really boils down to.
You mentioned these games, but you didn't plug what games you're playing. You want to let the people know what you're playing.
So, Hearthstone. I'm going to mention that first because that's probably the most popular among the games that I do play.
Yes.
So I do Hearthstone at least 3 or 4 days a week, and then I also do Seven Nights. It's actually a somewhat new mobile game as far as what would new be considered, because the game has only been out for about I think a year now, maybe a
Yeah.
little more, and I've been playing it almost since the beginning. And so that game's a lot of fun. And I'm also playing Heroes Charged, which has been out for I think 2 years, maybe
Yeah.
more.
It's been about 2 years.
And
Yeah.
yeah, about 2 years. So, and that's kind of the game that's kind of the low impact, just kind of chill kind of game. It's not a lot. It's not very colorful like Seven Nights or anything, but it has a lot of basic RPG qualities that I like, and I just have a hard time giving it up. I mean, one day in the future, when I really want to try a new mobile game, I'm going to have to make that hard decision to say, all right, I can't be your leader anymore. Now this guy is your leader, and later, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
I
would.
hate doing that because my guild is my family, so it's going to be rough when I have to make that decision in life.
I definitely understand my gaming group, my community, the people that have helped me get to where I'm at, to actually inspire me to do YouTube, to actually, get, cause I wasn't gonna do streaming, I wasn't gonna do any of that. I wasn't gonna do YouTube, and like these people that I game with, even though one of them's a pain in the butt sometimes. He's still cool. Um, they still inspire me. They still push me, and and I wouldn't be doing this, without them. So I could definitely relate. I also have your YouTube um thing, um your YouTube link up right now in the video. So this is his channel. Discard the banner. I'm gonna do what I can to help to get him a better banner. Um, we do know that his banner does not fit his channel, so do not troll, do not hate. Um, we all got to start somewhere, okay? Um, what I was gonna ask you was this: how long have you had your YouTube channel before you posted? Because I'm a little curious about something. But just answer that
How
question.
how long have I had my YouTube channel?
Yeah, how long have you had your YouTube like name? Oh, how long have you had OG
I've
Crux?
actually had it for God, maybe 10 years.
Okay, that's why. That's why.
Yeah, like honestly, it's super duper old. Um, and I don't even know where I got the name from. To be perfectly honest, it just kind of came to me randomly. I guess it was probably because of the lifestyle I was running. Because at the time that I started actually not really making videos, but just watching YouTube. I was going to. I used to call myself the most crunk gamer in history because I was the kind of person that was always in tournaments. Traveling to different cities to participate in tournaments. I was always going to conventions. I was just going everywhere. And when I used to go places, I was the life of the party. Like I would say certain things, do certain things. People would expect things out of me because they got excited when I would show up. You know what I mean? So
You
that's
was the
where the OG
crunkster.
crunks that came in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was a
you.
crunkster, and I've always been kind of old school. You know what I mean? To have my own posse at one time, if you want to call it that. So
Yeah.
I kind of got the old school gangster thing coming on with the Go Gaming thing, and it just kind of worked. So that's kind of where that came from. But I didn't actually start making videos until like maybe a month ago.
A month ago, yeah, it was about a month ago.
So
Uh,
I mean, I still got a long time before I actually start becoming popular. I don't see myself getting like really out there until maybe a year or two from now. But I mean, if it happens sooner, that's great. I'll be happy. But right now, I'm just having fun, and whatever happens, happens.
no, I would. The main reason why I was asking is because if you look at your link, right, your link says www.youtube/ogcrunkster. Okay, so you automatically have a custom URL. So that's pretty freaking awesome. I can't get a
Oh,
custom.
okay.
They changed it. Okay, I can't get a custom URL until after I get 100 subs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Huh.
yeah,
I got grandfathered in,
yeah. You
so now I'm the godfather.
Yeah, yeah. So you are literally the OG, okay? So like, yeah, bro. Like, I was like, remember when you sent me your link, and I was like, how does he have his own custom link already? And I looked into it, and they said, and ironically, they said it was like right around when I made my YouTube channel, I guess, around that time, they said we decided to change that we want people that have custom URL. I'm paraphrasing. Pretty much this is what YouTube told me. We want people to actually work hard to get their custom links. And so yeah, I have to have 100 subs. So that's
Oh.
why his URL is more uniformed and mine is a bunch of numbers and a bunch of letters. It makes no sense. But if you want
Whoops.
me to have a custom URL, people help me out and get me 100 subs. But please don't be dead subs. Nothing like the one thing I try to stay away from, and this is just giving me YouTube advice, don't do sub for sub unless they're like your friend, like me and him, because he knows I'm gonna watch his videos, and I know eventually he's gonna watch my videos. Um, Now I do understand people have lives and they don't get to watch people's videos. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to understand, to get where you are, to get big in YouTube, it's not about subs anymore, because subs is easy. It's about the longevity of your video. And what I mean by longevity of your video, I know I used the wrong word, but it's YouTube looks at how long people are watching your video. Are you watching the whole video, or are you watching it for 10 seconds? That's how YouTube ranks you now. So it's about how long and how much people are watching your videos. And then if people watch your videos for a long manner of time, then you get upper in the ranks as far as the Google search and all that good stuff. So that's just a little bit of YouTube knowledge that I've learned since I've really been taking YouTube seriously and getting partnered, and which, yes, I'm partnered with a company in YouTube. I'm gonna say this: I didn't do it for the money, cause Lord knows I ain't making no money from the company. I did it for the resources. These guys, they get a lot of hate. They get probably more hate than the Call of Duty game right now. But the fact that they give you free resources and you get all these different resources and you get all these different opportunities to get sponsored by other stuff, and you can get all this stuff made for you for nothing is pretty awesome. And the fact that somebody's willing to take the time and put the effort in on a channel that they don't even know if it's gonna succeed is pretty awesome. If you look at it from that side of the leaf. Now I know that there's some money troubles and people sometimes don't get their money when they're supposed to, and blah blah blah. But I'm here to tell you, if you're doing YouTube for money, you're doing it for the wrong reasons anyway. Because you're not gonna become a millionaire overnight over on YouTube. You can ask any of the big YouTubers out right now. I know a friend that's got over 400 subs, and he doesn't barely make any money off YouTube. So what does that tell you? So it's not about the money. You got to do it for the love of the video. Anything you would like to say, Mr. OG?
Well, I mean, you kind of pretty much said it all there. I mean, basically, the whole reason I started doing videos is because gaming in general has always been my passion. That's like video gaming specifically. Because I mean, I've done all types of other gaming like TCGs, role playing. Like I have a good long portfolio of what I've done in my gaming career. But hands down, video gaming has always been like my favorite. It's my passion, and I thought, well, I've been watching other people do YouTube videos for so long that I've enjoyed, and I kind of want to contribute to that to the gaming community. So why don't I post videos too?
Right.
That and every time I get a new job, every time, and it's even happening with my job right now that I just started recently. Everybody keeps telling me you have a radio voice and you should be doing something on video or on radio and all this other good stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love the compliment. I think it's great. That's really, really cool. But I was kind of like, I don't know. I've always kind of played it off. But I was like, well, wait a minute. I can talk to people on video, like everyone keeps telling me to do, and play video game, which is also my most favorite thing to do in the world.
Yeah.
Why not do that?
Yeah.
So I do it more or less for the passion of gaming that I love to do, and I'm glad that I'm a part of it.
Yeah,
So,
and I think this little podcast thing, tubecast thing, whatever you want to call it. The reason why I don't call, I mean, we can call it podcast, but you're not gonna find an RRS feed with us, at least not yet, because I don't know how to do it. Um, but mainly
fair enough.
you're gonna find us on YouTube, so that's why I call it a tubecast. Um, I'm gonna try and see if I can upload it on both of our channels. That way it's on both of our channels because I don't want OG to feel like, that I get the subs because they need to go to both of us. So hopefully you'll see this um tubecast, podcast, whatever you guys want to call it, radio show, whatever, on both of our YouTubes. That way we both get it, and it's just fair that way. I'm definitely enjoy. It's something we've been wanting to do since we were kids. I think we really thought we could do this when we saw Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler. Remember when you came over to my house that one day and we were watching, what was it, G4 on demand, and that's showing you how like they were doing game reviews on.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and you were like, and I was like, dude, we could do this. And you're like, yeah, but we don't have all these cameras, we don't have this, and we don't have that. I was like, one day we're gonna do it, and here we are, we're doing it. Maybe not in their way, but we're doing it. We don't have a sexy Morgan Webb, but we'll make it work. We'll find some
Yeah,
way. No, I'm just kidding.
we'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. But definitely enjoy doing this. Gaming has definitely been, one of my passions too, along with music. Gaming and music is like side by side with me. Uh, what I was gonna say is we've always been recording video games, whether it was you recording beating Final Fantasy at my house and not going to sleep, or it was me or you recording Perfect Dark tournaments that we would have and GoldenEye turned into
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
That was
And
back in the day when we had VHS
yes,
tapes. Keep that in
VCR.
mind. This was not this. We're talking about recording on a VCR. Us playing GoldenEye, Smash Brothers. I used to have those. I gotta find them. I lost them the last time I moved, but I used to record us playing games all the time, and it was so much fun. I actually would watch the videos too. We watched them together every now and then, and we always be like, "Hey, that's you around the top left." Yeah, man, you were kicking that guy's butt. It was
Yeah.
just kind of cool. You know what I mean? It was really nice to relive us playing games together. So
Before YouTube was created.
yeah, this was before YouTube. You were absolutely right. So there was no way for us to post these videos.
No.
But yeah, like we have been doing this for a long time. We just never realized it, I guess.
Yeah, we it's in our blood, and so to actually be able to do this now is kind of cool. And me and OG would always have these conversations, and we would talk about games, and we would do this for hours over the phone. So
Hmm.
it's pretty much like, I mean, this is second nature to us. So don't think we're doing this because we feel like there's something to be made here. No, we're doing this because we genuinely love doing this, and this has been our passion since we were kids. So I mean, if you're feeling it, hit the like button and subscribe, and do what it do. What else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. But I mean, and I guess what I want to say right there is do your passion, even if it's not video games, even if it has nothing to do with what we're doing. Do your passion. You're never too old to not do your passion. I don't care if I'm 75 years old. I'm still gonna be gaming in my wheelchair with my freaking pamper on. I don't care. I'm gonna be gaming.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be gaming. It probably won't be VR because VR has never been handicap accessible, and the VR games that I'm looking at now, they really don't look handicap accessible. So I don't think I'm gonna be playing any much VR. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that'll be probably another podcast we can get into another time because I
Definitely.
mean, I have looked into that a little bit too, but there's more research I want to do on that before I really start talking about it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah, I mean, like you said, just whatever you're passionate about, just do it. There's always a way to do it, and you just got to do some research and figure it out. See what the masses are doing, and know your limits. If you can't do what everyone else is doing, do what you know you can do, and incorporate your passion with it.
Right, exactly. Definitely agree, and do your own thing. Like, as far as I know, there's nobody doing like what we're doing right now the way that we're doing it. Yes, there's people doing podcasts. Yes, there are people talking about games, but they're not doing it the way that we're doing it. I think we're the first ones to bring actual video like this to you guys, and we're over the phone. We're not worried about. I'm not worried about Dwight's quality as long as I can hear him, and as long as you can understand him. That's all that matters.
Yep,
Uh,
we're just having a simple conversation. You guys get to kind of listen in on it.
yeah,
Simple as that.
exactly, exactly. I don't know what time this man has to go to work. So we will end the podcast on today. I hope you enjoyed the beta episode of OG Podcast, and if you are feeling it, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to like and subscribe on Handikillcam's page, which is my page, and be sure to like and subscribe on OG Crunkster's page, which is this man's page. And with that said, this is Handy out, signing off.
Yeah. Yep. OG is out. You guys take it easy.
Easy.